全てはここから始まった。
Damn, son. Yo, I'm looking at this post with your leg, bro. Fuck. Fuck. Hell no, man. Oh, my shit's sitting behind me. That's why you hear my voice twice. Yo, I keep getting messages in my phone, text messages for dick pills. I don't know why, son. Like, this shit's mad weird. I swear to God. Then I blocked the number, right? I blocked the number. I swear to God. Next day, it'd be like, listen, nigga, we know you need these dick pills. Like, listen, son, we try to help you out. Okay. So, Kai, are you in here? Just say something if you in here. Real quick. We could talk about movement real quick. Because you know what it is. Because you do it in fucking... You do it in Smash. It's just... It's a different game. You just have to, like, conjugate it over to Tekken. And to be fair with you, you already do. But understanding why you're doing something and what exactly can come of it goes a long way. I don't think he's in here yet.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7, Yoshimitsu.
Actually, for this example, do I want someone who can't move as well? Nah. Alright, what's up, Kai? And the reason, okay, so what I was just saying was good movement as you described, right? I don't even remember exactly what you said because I don't have the comments in front of me, but good movement. Practicing that and you want to get a stick, grab that and you went. Okay, let me ask you a few questions first. Here's the reason why I'm getting all this. Sticks are fucking expensive, and I really be trying to have this conversation with people because I've talked to so many people who are like, I think I'm going to get a stick and get better or just that and the third. They buy the stick and they don't get better because what they expected and what they got, what they expected the stick to do and what they did, like there was a disconnect there, you know what I'm saying? Where the problem would have been fixed without him or her spending $200 and going to get the it was literally just the way they were playing, right? So, alright. Anybody who's watched me play, right? And niggas will argue with me about this all day. They'll be like, yo, you got Korean backdash, right? And the reason why they say that is because Korean backdash creates so many opportunities to create space with punish, get out of bullshit, whatever, right? The reason why you want to have that in your back pocket and at least know how to do it is because you want to at least have the fucking muscle memory in case you ever want to pull that technique out your back pocket. Alright? Now, muscle memory is an important term when it comes to a lot of things in life, but with fighting games, you definitely want to have that muscle memory because there's a bit of extra shit that goes on when you want to do something like this. Whoops. Like, that's not something I'm really consciously thinking about doing. At this point, I've done it so many times that it's natural. You know what I'm saying? And why you want to do that, have muscle memory, is it speeds up your decision-making process. Anyway. Kind of digressing. Movement, right? You want to have in your muscle memory certain things. You want to have in your muscle memory to play in a person's ideal range, the tip of it. The reason why is because if you sit in there, I wonder if I can set this up. I can set this up. We'll use What's EWGF? No, we could do Demon Uppercut. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so take a look at his range. Okay, he's sitting right here. If you see the distance for the opponent is going between 130 and like 127. Alright, so obviously if I play that right here, he's gonna hit, right? Now I'm standing at 280, sitting between 289 and 270, okay? If I start it again, whoops, let's try to get back right there. Alright, if I start again, he's gonna hit. Now, I'm sitting at about 3. Let's see if he'll hit again. There's about a 0.10 distance difference. Okay. Now, you just saw that, right? That's where he's whiffing. Right there. The reason why he's whiffing is because I'm right outside of the range of that move. And that happened about here. Nope. The reason why you want to know this right here is because, say I know that move is coming out. I know he's gonna use that shit. I know he really, in his mental processes, that move is so good to this person that I'm playing, that even if they don't do it right when I expect it, at some point in time it's coming, right? So in a basic neutral situation, and by neutral situation I mean, look at the startup frames right here, frame advantage, all of that is null, right? Exactly. Everything's neutral. This is a neutral, nothing's going on. He's about to use that move, right? And I get my whiff punish. Now, the only reason that shit happened is, again, because I'm standing right outside of where he is. So he's whiffing right in front of me. So, I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense, but I'm saying all these words just to say the reason good movement in Tekken specifically really is, it's more than just being right outside your opponent's tip range of some of their best shit or whatever move that they're really relegating to. The longest move, typically the rule is the longest move that they're using, you want to stand right outside of that. And you want to just get in, get out, get in, get out. Some people will get in, Korean back dash out, get in, Korean back dash out. Because you're setting up that whiff. Another thing you can do is, I'll stand, say, right here. So, we'll just block that a few times. Oops. Alright. So, instead of sitting here and creating a, okay, I keep going, you can run it back. Instead of creating an opportunity for a whiff by just standing there and being outside, is what you call it, Tekken's a 3D game. I can also do this. Whoops, I gotta time it right. Actually, you know what I'll do? Okay. Alright, so what I can do is this right here. Oops, didn't do it right. I don't want to get into anything. He's not here, but whoops. That doesn't wall splat, huh? Straight knockdown. But I'm plus 45. That's a setup. That's a setup for this. If, say I keep doing this, because I don't have access for this move right here, it does wall splat. Okay. I don't have access to this move with my sword out. And then I also don't have access to this move. Oh, yeah, I do. Why would you want to do that? Hold on a second. I wonder if I can jab that. I wonder if there's a jab between that. Yo, I used to believe this shit was 10 frames. This shit is 15 fucking frames? Hold on, dog. That's Yoshi's fast as shit? Yo! Wait a minute. No way. That comes out at 9 frames? Wait a minute. I'm learning some new shit. My mind is blown. Well, listen, while we waiting on Guy, we can get into some matches, nigga. Shit. That's why you wanna, the numbers don't lie, word. That's crazy. That's kind of why you wanna at least, like, have a sense of, like, I think people, that whole explanation was just to get into, like, when people are like, how do I get better? And people are like, oh, you need to get better with movement, and like they don't say anything else, and it's like, okay, let me throw these things at you, maybe that's something to start with. There's so many things that are propagated in FGC when it comes to newer players and telling them how to get better that I disagree with so much. I really disagree with the just lab sentiment, because if you go into the lab and you don't even know how to use that shit, if you don't even know how to set up, say, the computer to block something so that you can see if your shit's actually safe or not, because you actually have to set that up. If you don't know how, it's just going to frustrate you and you're not learning anything. In that situation, I'd argue you're probably better off just playing a match. A real opponent who at the very least, you know they're going to, eventually they're going to block without you having to say it. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that, like, niggas be saying to newer players. It's like, yo,
Get ready for the next battle.
everything you need is there, but if you don't know how to use it, you know? Niggas be like, I'm moving, but why am I moving? So, I'm a very conceptual heavy person. If I know a concept behind something, eventually I'll figure it out. So, I try to get to the heart of that for people who learn like me. Let's see if this nigga gonna embarrass me on stream. Teach me some Yosh.
Round 1. Fight.
Nah, bitch. Yeah, it's a good day. Bye!
Round 2.
This ain't his main though.
Fight.
He's figuring me out. I'm not ducking. You want me? He's trying to throw all the Yoshi shit at me like oh, okay, I didn't. He caught me on that. Woo! Yeah, he caught me there.
Round 3. Fight.
Good shit. Oh! Oh, shit. Alright, let's get this started. I'm starting to lose some latency. It's really becoming a problem now. Yo, are you kidding me? Yo, I can't play this right now. Nah, nigga. Get that bullshit out of here.
KO.
This shit really just dropped to...
Round 4.
No, nigga. I just learned about that. Oh, fuck. Yeah. It sucks because I really want to play this dude. Nice sidestep. He got me. Shit! Yo, this fucker. Alright, motherfucker. Gung-ho, bitch! Shit. Nah, nigga, goodbye. Fuck all that. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit, because this is horrible. I think I tried streaming before on Tekken, and it was a bit... Find one more match.
Welcome to the King of Iron, Yoshimitsu.
You ain't got a whisper, what's up?
Challenger. Get ready for the next battle.
But yeah, I mean, going back to the talking about concepts and all that, like I said, I people tell you what you should be doing, and they try to tell you why. I feel like they don't explain it right or well. And hey, I may not even explain it well, but I'm gonna lay the explanations on, man, because again, people will be like, you need to move better, and it's like, but how? Like, what exactly about my movement is so bad? Well, let me help you out there. Let me show you what you're aiming for. Let me show you some things that you're trying to do. Another thing that you can play around with in neutral, let's see if I can make it happen, is like whiffing something that recovers fast Whoops. Let's try it. I don't like the connection, but it's not bad, this one. Gotcha. Now, let me show you an example. Like that. That is an example of whipping something and going to something faster to get a hit, because they think it's their turn. It's not their turn yet. That comes to matchup knowledge. Damn it. Let's see if I can make him duck. He's gonna duck next round now.
Round 3. Fight.
See? Now, the reason why that's important is because watch this. Whoops. Oh, he's gonna do it. Yep, he's doing it. Perfect. He didn't duck there, but I got it anyway. Yeah, I see it. I can win this whole match with hop kicks now. War flash. Let's try if he stays. Let's try to condition him in another way. Let's see if we can win this match. So he's expecting lows now, right? Let's see if we can get launches. Like, I just showed you an example of using so many lows to create situations where you can launch in the neutral. Let's try making him passive. Let's try making him wait a little bit to see what I'll do. So, the way you do that is you gotta just beat his offense every single time. And then he'll start hesitating. Then we can land some unblockables.
Who are you?
Lucille, baby!
Round 1. Fight.
Okay, so as you can see, he's aggressive now, because I'm not really... Nah, nigga, fuck you. See, he's already passive. He set me up with plus frames. He's using stuff that's unsafe, though. He doesn't realize it. Now, watch this. Nah, fuck that. Passive enough to get a whole slow-ass unblockable.
Round 2. Fight.
In between some of my shit. That's why he's going for dick punches a lot. He tried to low parry me there, it didn't work. Hot kick always beats grabs. This connection is really bad.
Fight.
Is he plug-in? Yep. Plug-in or the connection was that bad. One or the other. But, you know, these are just things to consider. Like nobody ever really tells you how to condition someone for a match. Like, they use that term so much, conditioning, this, that, and the third, but they don't tell you how to condition someone. What I did to make him start blocking lows will literally piss someone off, but it's literally a form of conditioning. It's not disrespect. I mean, it is disrespectful, but it's not like, yo, I'm coming at you. It's like, yo, I want you to block this. so I can set you up for more shit. And if you don't, then you're taking this damage. When you want to start, another thing you can do to make them start ducking is start grabbing the shit out of them.
New challenger.
Now, it's a bit worse than throwing lows like crazy, because I feel like throws are a bit more unsafe for various reasons. Throw break situations may not be to your advantage. They may choose to just throw break and say fuck ducking. It's a lot about it. But if you can get them to duck, oh man. Because the thing is a lot of grabs have a telegraph beforehand. Either you run up and grab, or you do a move that leaves you close, and then you throw a grab or whatever. So if you use that telegraph, they're gonna be like, the grab's coming, duck. And instead of doing the grab, you do a hop kick or something. That's another thing I like to do. So, let's see. Let's try that on this Nina here. And keep in mind, sometimes these strategies will work, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes the player you're playing knows about them better than you. But these are just universal strategies that work in fighting games overall. These are battle tested, one would say.
Time to die.
Round one. Fight.
What was I trying to do with this, Nina? That's right. Okay. Choosing the throw break. Eventually, as you play longer, it'll sort of kind of happen naturally, though. It's not something you really gotta...
Fight.
Yeah, this is probably my last match, to be real with you. I'm not digging this lag. You can have the win!
KO. Round three.
I simply can't play in this much lag. What was I saying?
Fight. KO. You lose.
Isn't it past your bedtime?
I can't even remember what I was saying. This lag is killing me. But yeah, I mean, what's another thing I like to do? We'll just go to practice and talk about some of them. Sorry, y'all. I just don't think Spectrum Internet, man.
Welcome to the King of
I
Iron
don't think I
Fist
can
Tournament
support the
7,
stream
Yoshimitsu.
to match at the same time, but I'm gonna still try to show some of these concepts and what I've found and what works for me, and sort of kind of explain why it works, and what
Get
I'm
ready
doing,
for the next battle.
and the mentality behind it. Mind you, I'm not the best player at all, but this shit be working, bro. So, there's a few things I work off of. I'm trying to... Initially, I'm just working off your energy. So, for example, if you want to be aggressive, I'll let you take space from me. And I'll let you be aggressive. You know, every once in a while I'll bite back with something, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times, if I'm bringing you to the wall, if I'm leading you to the wall, if I am backing up, blocking, and going to the wall, or if I am getting hit and going towards the wall, it's something I passively do, and people may think it's advantageous to them, but it's actually advantageous to me. And the reason why, let me explain why. I just want follow. Stand and approach. There we go. Alright. The reason why it's advantageous to me is because I have flash. And the closer... Flash works in a few ways. One way it works is that proximity allows me to get that hidden. It also can work by the numbers. So if you look at the startup frames on this section of the screen, you'll see that flash with my sword out comes at the 6 to 9 frames. Okay? Now, most of the fastest move in the game, like a jab, are going to come out at 10. With all that being considered, we can make the conclusion that flash is one of the fastest moves in the game. Keep that in mind. If I'm in a situation where... How can I set this up? I bet you I can make it happen if I fight the computer for a little bit. If I'm in a situation where I'm taking damage and I'm up against the wall and I know they're coming in, it's not gonna work there. I know they want to keep their offense going. It only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I could just, as soon as I see a move coming, it's a mid, just by the very virtue that my move is faster, I'm getting it because one, my move is faster, and two, because they're opening themselves up by choosing to do a move regardless of what it is. Okay? So two things are going on there: the proximity to the other player, and then basically the three things are happening. I'm using a move, they're using a move, and we're both committing to a certain distance. My move is coming out faster, and because of our proximity, they're taking that hit. My flash is going to hit that person. It's kind of similar to, you know what it's similar to? This situation right here. But this situation's the opposite, but it's a similar type of concept. So if we're both, this is basically neutral at the start of the round. We're both standing right here. Imagine it says ready, fight. We both jab. If we both jab at the same time, it's going to trade because we're at the same distance. Our limbs are the same. Our moves that we're using are the same, like, distance, same speed. So you're going to get a trade because both of our hitboxes are occurring at the same time, right? Now, if I chose to flash and he jabbed, his shit would hit me if he's close enough. If he's at that right range, his shit will hit me and my flash will completely whiff. Reason being, one, flash has a smaller range than the jab, and two, flash is so fast that the hitbox is actually gone, and it becomes a whiff after a certain point. So if I'm just sitting here flashing, the active frame is gone by about the time he touches his sword, that active frame is gone. So all of that after is recovery frame. So technically, if Heihachi's paying attention, he can launch me there. Okay? This became a talk about Flash and how it works, but whatever. So anyway, that's a concept that I use a lot. A lot of my flashes happen just because I'm that close to someone. Another way Flash can work is, what does Heihachi have that's plus? He got Electrical and God Fist, but I don't know how to do that shit. Well, I can't do it consistently. Fuck. What the fuck does he have that's plus? This shit might be plus on block. Nah. It's not. It's just got a lot of pushback. Actually, let's switch characters real quick. I got a good example, and someone who plays this character, someone who's watching actually plays this character, so.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist tournament.
I'll also probably have to explain frames and how plus frames work too, but that's kind of simple.
Brian Fury.
So, Brian is a very oppressive character. In the neutral, he has a lot of options that can counter hit you and lead to a combo, or just otherwise oppress you. You have to really know how to fight Brian, because a lot of times he's in an advantageous situation or can quickly turn it into an advantageous situation. Now, the weakness of a lot of Brians is the player, in the sense that they don't use him to his full potential. They are relegated to moves like Snake Edge because they like that it trips niggas and all that shit. But he is a very destructive package if used the right way. Some examples. What the fuck does he have? Hatchet kick. one of the most oppressive lows in the game. I can't do it consistently because I can't do a core, so go back consistently. That shit's fun. And I guess that's the mix-up. One of the mix-ups is the knee. Okay, now, that's not the move we're talking about, though. This is the move we're talking about. The reason why... What do we want to do after? Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Okay, that works. Okay, now. The reason why that works, Brian's plus here. Brian is +4 on block here. You wanna know how I know he's +4 here? Okay, let me show you why I know. So frame it, look down here to the frame advantage, the second row right there, okay? Now, if I jab and I get a hit, it shows the +8. That means on hit, when I jab and I get a hit, I have 8 frames that I am faster than my opponent. So if I jab again, it's actually coming out, it says the start frames is 10 frames. You gotta do a little math real quick, and you'll see that my jab is actually coming out faster, about at 2 frames, okay? At +8. Alright, that's all you need to know. Now, if something's minus, for example, what's something that's minus? Everything on hit is plus. So I'm gonna need him to block real quick and then I'll just reset that. So if you see, it's minus here. Now, that isn't really a problem if I know how to play the game, but if I minus and I keep pressing buttons and he presses the right button, I can get counter hit. So if he does, so again, those red letters, those red numbers means I'm at frame disadvantage. And Brian is at frame advantage. So, let's jump back to that move that we were doing, and let's explain why it works. He does the first part of his move. Let's look at the frame advantage. You see how it says -4? That means he's +4. The second hit, I'm +10 after he gets it. That means he's -10 there. I can get a block punish in, if I'm close enough. But I'm not. So, if I was close enough on block there, I'd be able to jab and get a punish. But anyway, the reason why this works now, ready y'all, is he is using a move that is plus frame. Remember that. There's a bit of proximity there too. He's right next to me when he uses his next move. But he's using plus frames and then immediately going into a mid. He's +4 there, and he's using a mid. I can't tell you how fast it is unless I switch to Brian, but what I can tell you is that, 1, he's closer to me afterwards, and 2, that flash is going to come out faster regardless. So the reason why you always see flash beat plus frames is just because it's the virtue of it still coming out faster. It beats most things. Now, one thing that may beat it, it depends on the situation. It's very situational. And now we're getting into more complicated shit, but it's something like this. The reason why, okay. Let's try that out, see if it works. Now, as you can see, his jab is beating my flash. The reason why, because he's +4. He is +4. Well, as you can see, the wall's a bit different, but he's +4, and he's using the jab. His jab is now coming out at 6 frames. Technically, honestly, let's see. This shit should be coming out. Whatchamacallit? My shit, it should be trading, to be real with you. So don't ask me why that's happening, but I do know that a jab is going to beat. That's why I tell people all the time, like, yo, if you're trying to beat Flash and you really don't want to stop being aggressive, just jab. Like, you don't have to fucking sit there and bait it out, wait for it to come out, and then launch it. Nah, if you really want to be aggressive, and like you're setting up your plus frames, and then you know that motherfucker's gonna flash, just jab after. Instead of, you know what I'm saying? But that's how plus frames work, and that's how Flash beats plus frames. If y'all got any questions, just ask, because I feel like I just butchered Orbital will, first of all, what's up, Maurice? Thanks for coming in. But Orbital will also be outflashed after that as well, since his hitbox isn't close enough when he does it. That is a very interesting, and it makes sense just thinking about it in my head. Let's test it out. Orbital is okay. Just a neutral orbital. Well, we'll try it with a neutral orbital, right? Or with a regular. No, we'll do a neutral orbital. So start recording. Okay. Now let's see if I can flash that out. Actually, nope. He's right. The reason why. Look at Brian. Look at where he is, and look at where I am when I'm flashing. Leroy has an orbital. Leroy does have an orbital, yes. He does. Leroy's orbital is... Listen, man. Orbitals... The reason why orbitals, that type of move... Maurice explained it pretty well. The reason why that move is so good is because it moves your character, the character that is using it, his hitbox away and then towards you, while extending out a box to hit you with. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in a situation, in like a close quarter situation where fastest move matters, like typically frames aren't really gonna matter out here. Like they do, but like you're not gonna be using your fastest shit out here because what am I trying to say? You're gonna be using your fastest shit here because your proximity is here, and you know you're the frames that it costs to use that move versus how much space that you'll control using that move. It's a good idea there. But out here, you're not going to be jabbing and shit. Like, typically, you're not going to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck was I saying? The reason why Orbital works so well, I'm thinking of 3 characters that have it, which are Lars, Brian, and Leroy, is because, again, you're extending out a hitbox while moving your hurt box on Brian, Lars, or Leroy away and then back towards you. So, if we're going back to the Flash example, again, most of the times when Flash works, it's because of proximity. So, knowing that, the reason why this works, as Maurice explained it, is just because the proximity, it changes. He's moving outwards. But what did he say? I got blicked a few times like that. Yo, honestly, that is the go-to strat for motherfuckers. I want to try other people's orbitals out and see if I can clip any. Because I believe that's true for all of them. I just want to make sure that's true. That they'll always be bad. So we'll go with Leroy Smith. We'll go with Leroy first. I don't know what.
Leroy Smith.
Oh.
Get ready for the next
But yeah, man. I mean, what else do I do sometimes? This all started from a talk about movement and why you want to sort of... Yeah, at that point, you're just playing layers of Tekken. See, but I'm... the Brian player I'm talking to, he's still starting out, so while, yeah, he can adapt, he's not really thinking of his options as much as he's learning how to use them. You feel me? I just had the craziest brain fart, y'all have no idea. But let's just get into my example, because that's going to keep happening. Okay, so Leroy's orbital is here. What is plus on him? Yeah, I threw some at Kai. Yo, what? Oh, that's right. Nah, that won't work. This is a running move. Fuck. Let me look this up real quick. Give me one moment, please. You know, one complaint about Tekken training mode, I know people always have. The frame data app is great. I'm glad they put it in. Why didn't you put it on the 2-player side too? I don't know. It's just like a shortcoming that seems kind of stupid to me. Like, one of the problems I'm running into is that if I had the frame data for him and then I could just have him do it and then block it and see what his shit looks like. But for me to see his frame data, I would have to be playing as Leroy. You should have it on the 2-player side as well. For real? Oh. I immediately saw the, So, don't even worry about that. I'm a dumbass, guys. I didn't know that shit. I've been sitting here for like 6 months thinking that there's a problem with this shit. The whole time, I'm the dumbass. Okay. Okay. So, I was looking for some of Leroy's plus frame moves because what we're looking at. Looking at R&B Norway. This shit is like RBN Norway. This shit is like hieroglyphs. How do you read this? Okay. Yo, what the fuck? Let me see if I can do this. Oh, it doesn't have to be running. Okay. So that changes everything. Alright. I didn't know that. I thought it had to be running. Yo, Okay, so for him, he might need to do a back. There's like 3 different types of orbitals. Yoshi kind of has an orbital too, but it's different. It's different. It's not really. It's like it's an orbital like movement, but it's a bit different. But hold on, just a second. So what I would want to, I'm gonna try it out like that. So okay. Now, yeah. So he would have to do it backwards. What if I Kara Flash? Yeah, nah, I can't Kara Flash there. Okay, this way. Ooh. Leroy might run into an issue. There. I'm gonna have to also go back to Brian, but in no sword, Leroy might want to avoid that, but the evasion's still there. You just gotta make the right choice. So let me see. I think I already know the answer, but let me see what happens if I push forward on it instead. Yo, Maurice, you see this shit? That's interesting. You don't get a you don't get a full launch. Leroy is an interesting case. Leroy's fucking broken, man. Yo, wait. So if he chooses to move forward on it, okay, wait, that's the wall. Yo. That is so interesting. Actually, let's start this over. That is so interesting. Yo, I'm about to go down the lab rabbit hole for real. Yeah. I just need something plus. I couldn't find. That's the only one I could think of. I thought I had to be running to do it, but it's just forward. That's interesting because okay, if he pushes forward when he does it, he's actually airborne. So if you hit people with flash and they're airborne, they just fall to the ground. Like there's a way to convert it to a launch, but if you're not ready for it, let me show you. That was, yo, Leroy is weird. I wonder if it's because his hitbox, like because I know he has a different type of frame. It's a bit different, like his. I almost want to say he has like a woman's body. Is it a timing thing? Wow. That's something I'm gonna make note of that for later because I don't want to waste your time. But let's check out Lars real quick. When they do 4-4-3, I duck it. Yeah. You know, a lot of Leroys. I haven't really run into a really smart Leroy, so they usually just use it just for the plus frames. Like they're not really trying to condition. Okay, that makes sense.
Yoshimitsu.
Where Lars at? Where's Lars? Oh.
Lars Alexanderson.
Hey, what you thinking about season 4, yo? What are your thoughts and wishes also? How you doing over there, man? You alright? Alright, cool. I'll probably order some lunch soon. It's only 2 o'clock. Feels like it's 5. Okay. Let's just... I used to dabble with Lars. Not good enough to know what the fuck I'm doing. He can't just spam this. He has to stand up after, huh? You want the damage to go up or down? What I've seen lately is people want the damage to go back to like season 1, like. What was I trying to do with Lars? I can't remember. Yo, I've been losing track lately of something. Yo, I think I'm getting early dementia. I wanted. Yeah. Is that plus on block? I think that's plus. Nope, it's not. It's just safe. I'm realizing how much I don't know. Yo, between me and you, as far as a mainline Tekken character that needs, a legacy character coming back. Oh yeah, I want Kunimitsu back, my mans. That, yo, first of all, I've never been a Kunimitsu main, but I've always liked her as a character, and I want to try her out. I didn't play tag like other people did, and I believe she was DLC in tag, and when I see her play well, it's like Kunimitsu is for Yoshi players who want to be a bit more serious, but still style on motherfuckers, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? I just really like the aesthetic, and that's all I can really like. You know, so I want Kunimitsu, and she used to be in. And as far as I know, lore-wise, she could be in and be absolutely no problem. I don't think she's dead. How you feeling about guest characters? Alright. Is this plus? I'm telling you, I just got on break. You're at work. Oh. Excuse me. Listen, man. I didn't realize that. You can come back and check this out later, Kai. Just there's some shit. I feel like I've been throwing a little bit of knowledge in here. I don't know, but I've also got Maurice in here throwing some more knowledge. So but it's like Yoshi stuff. So. Do you want? Let me ask you this: if we were getting a Yakuza character, who would you like it to be? I'm gonna throw this idea at everybody I run into, cause it's very likely at this point, I feel like. But I'll hold that to myself now. See what you say. What I basically was getting into, Kai, I was just talking about some things I like to play around with. When it comes to opening people up, something like sometimes I'll do a low so many times in a row that somebody is like, you know what, he likes doing lows, let me start blocking low, and then I start hop kicking. You know, I don't know. There's aspects of the game that you, as a new player, I guess, they don't naturally come to you, I guess. And I'm just throwing them out there. I know I'm not breaking any ground, but maybe it'll help someone. I haven't played the games yet. I'm watching gameplays of it, so I'm not super familiar with the characters. See, so if I threw this idea at you, you wouldn't really. So I'm a big fan of Majima, and I would prefer him over Kiryu, but I mean, if they threw Kiryu in, I'm hyped. These motherfuckers definitely do beat ass, too. For real. I was throwing the idea around, and people immediately were like, either like, yo, that's awesome, or no, fuck that. I'm like, yo, make Majima, like, put him in, make him a Capo Dragunov hybrid. People are like, what? No. Yo, get this nigga out of here. And I'm like, hear me out, yo. Because, like, people consider Lucky Chloe a Capo, but she's not necessarily, like, she's not as... I'd say she's a Capo that you could play regular-ass Tekken with. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a regular Capo... Listen, there's some stuff you want to look out for. You know what I'm saying? There's some things in your game plan that you may do with other people that you don't want to do with Capos. You may be an aggressive player. You don't want to be aggressive against a good Capo. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a rule that I live by. Shrek for Tekken? Yo, that's another thing. Because you know what Shrek would be if they put him in Tekken? He'd be a big character. And I had a thought today, and it might be a little controversial. But I feel like we need to stop putting so many damn big characters in the game. Because, and hear me out, I feel like what developers are doing is they're like, bigger is better. I don't remember what the fuck I was watching today, what gameplay, but there was some big character in the game, and it was like, yo, It was a 2D game, and I'm like, can this person even jump over? Like, that's how big this dude was. Controlled, by virtue of being a big character, controlled a large portion of the screen. Obviously, it was beatable, but I'm like, this is kind of out of hand. Mind you, I'm not a 2D fighter player like that and all that, and I just think, like, I don't know, man. Big, it seems like developers want to make bigger guys, like, they just want to keep pushing the scale of bigger guys. Like, remember when Falcon, when they first showed him and he was like a foot taller than fucking, I feel like they were really about to make him that big, and they're like, yo, wait, this is ridiculous. And I don't know, man, it's just like, Blitz Tank, let me Google it real quick and I'll tell you if that's what I'm talking about. I don't think that's what I'm talking about. No, but that on a 2D fighting game screen is probably going to be an issue all in its own. Yeah, that'd be a fucking problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I mean, so I don't know what a game of cross. Like, let's see what like an average game looks like. I'm gonna YouTube some whatchamacallit real quick. Excuse me, real quick, y'all. We'll do Blitz Tank versus Blitz Tank. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Come on, man. How do you even jump over that? His head is to the fucking health bar. Like, anime games, the thing is though, here's the thing. I think there's like a unspoken rule with like anime games where like it's cool for things to be outrageous because by virtue of it being anime, like niggas were fine with like there was absolutely nothing fine with early awakenings in Naruto Storm. Like them shits would take out, like you had, it wasn't even a 2D environment. It was a 3D environment and you were fucked. If that nigga pulled out his awakening, like you better turtle and pray that motherfucker, like, he fucks up his approach or something, because just by virtue of them being big, not having any stun, you know, all that shit, you taking, what you call it, but then also, you may wonder, like, how do you fix that? Well, you throw, I mean, and some may argue, you make them niggas able to take some hits. They did that in Naruto Storm, either 3 or 4. It might have been the tag, or the one in between that didn't have a number. And motherfuckers could take hit stuns, and awakenings became so fucking stupid in that game. Nobody even plays that game or talks about it anymore. So it's like, what do you... It really is a conundrum. Like, I feel what people are saying when they say Gigas is ass, and like, you need to make them better, but also, like, I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent, but I feel... Basic point, I feel like we're getting a bit out of hand with big body fighting game characters. Period. Paragraph. Man, I miss Storm. Storm was that shit, man. I really love me some Storm. Storm would make a nigga's day. I'm gonna try a match one more time. I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna see if I can make this happen. Yeah, y'all play Storm in the chat? I know Kai at least did. Fausto, I want to say I played a game or two with you, and you used to whoop my ass. I know somebody, my boy Jimmy, he used to play, it was before Obito showed who he was, so his name was Madara, but it was Masked Man at that point, because I'm talking Storm 2 days back in the day where you could substitute behind niggas infinitely if you had enough chakra. And that motherfucker was like, yo, I used to think Masked Man was a joke character until he used him. I'm like, yo, this nigga is broken.
challenger.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Storm. She wasn't big, was she? I didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom, but just thinking of Storm.
New challenger.
We are not fighting you. Was she like a zoner? I would imagine she probably had crazy zoning, just by virtue of knowing how she fights. JoJo Bizarre, that 2D fighter. There was one that was really broken. It had a lot of balance issues, and this came out around the time where like a patch wasn't really a thing. You just bought the game, you put it in the fucking thing, and whatever. If there was a glitch, nigga, y'all just had an agreement to either not use it or y'all was both using it, type shit. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting a good match, y'all. Oh, Christ almighty. I just want one good game. And then I think there was one that was really good and really well polished. I ended up buying Eyes of Heaven, I want to say, and that shit is so ass. Like, I played it 2 or 3 times just to the novelty, but like, it really is ass. So, animes, that's the thing, man. I have this talk with people from time to time, but like, animes, we need a good anime fight. Dragon Ball FighterZ, it was on that track, but I don't even know what exactly happened. People talk about it, but it ain't as hot. It doesn't get as much traction as it used to, it seems like. People don't even really talk about it like that. I think the closest we probably can get is a Dragon Ball game or like a Jump Force game, but Jump Force keeps dropping the ball. We need a good anime fighter, and I feel like we can really bridge some things in the FGC market. I feel like, so you're saying Eunice, right? The problem, I mean, like, when I say anime fighter, I mean like a mainstream type deal, like that, because the appeal of a mainstream anime is that you're going to get the casual person to come in, possibly want to play, pick it up, whatever the case may be. You want casuals, like, casuals are the lifeblood of the FGC, whether people realize it or not, you know what I'm saying? So, you kind of want that audience. That's the thing. I feel like more hardcore players play Eunice than anything. That's the problem with like anime fighters on the market right now, is like they're just notoriously like some of the more difficult fighting games. So as like, if you're a casual player, just someone who might want to try some shit out, you might get turned off by all the shit that you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I think they got a JoJo Bizarre Adventure Battle Royale game. They need to bring that shit to America because it seems like it's fire. There's not a lot of characters in it. It's relegated to I think 2 or 3 parts, but it looks pretty good. And the thing is, when you have a smaller roster of characters, everybody ends up being special. Everybody ends up having something good, and it usually tends to, not always, but it tends to be more of a balanced cast. I think. But so let's talk about what do you guys think. Like, if we had to make a checklist of things that you need to make a decent fighting game, an anime-based fighting game, right? What do you think? What are some things you would need to check on that list to have it be popular to a mainstream audience, to rival Mortal Kombat? Maybe even Smash, or to at least have a very decent audience and it would have a spot at EVO, let's say, theoretically. What do you think it would need? I think you would need like a mainstream anime. I think that is very important. Again, just because of the casual edge of that. I guess we'd have to talk about whether it'd be 2D or 3D, huh? I think I would prefer it to be 3D. And on some real shit, the reason why everybody was so... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. The reason why everybody was so hurt by Jump Force, right, is because everybody really thought it was going to be that game. And it was clear that they was just trying to cash in It was half-hearted. It's trash. I don't know, man. I have this thought a lot, cause like, yo, give me some licenses. Like, give me some money. Let me do this real quick. I'll make y'all yo. I put a Naruto fighting game on the fucking map, yo. Let me tell you, man. I know what y'all want. Even if y'all don't know what you want, I know. Oh my god.
Round 1. Fight.
I'm gonna tell y'all what though. Was it? What was wrong with it? I didn't play it, so. Bitch! Stop it! Nigga! Wrong number!
Round 2. Fight.
Stop it! Anything, huh? Anything to win, huh? This is pathetic, my friend. Oh, I just looked at the fucking rank. I'm stupid.
KO.
Let's finish this nigga off.
Round 3. Fight.
I'll take it. Agree. So tell me how I watched season 1 and 2 in a day. No life it real quick, huh? That's what you do! That's what you do! You kiss the anime, you put it in the motherfucking box, and you watch that shit. Finish that shit off. We got, yo, that's what me and Julie, we've been trying to power through Avatar. But the thing is I've been playing mad games lately, and she just be like, she be chilling. Well, it's like, when do we, yo, you wanna fight, pussy? Huh? Oh, okay. Alright. What was I saying? Yeah, we be trying to power through it, and we just can't. Literally was the typical anime 3D fighter. Like, if it was at least 23, then would have been okay. But they were charging 60. Yo, would you believe? I really think they about to go up on game prices next console generation. I think that's really about to be a thing. Just the fact that they're releasing a digital version of a console and then a game, like a one with a disc drive, I don't know. It's not a good look to me. That's weird. Why would you do some shit like that? Why would you even do that? I don't know. I don't know, man. Just me. Just make, if you're trying to make room for something, just make the fucking thing bigger. Like, it's a console. It's not like we're trying. It's not an accessory. We're not sure. I don't know, man. That's a whole different talk. But yeah, I think they're gonna jump to 70, maybe even 75, bro. I think they're prepping us for that shit, and like they're just doing it like. And I'm telling you right fucking now, I be buying games like crazy. I will start buying physical games, and they're gonna start getting traded in like I started trading them in when they went up to 60. I'm not playing this game with y'all motherfuckers, yo. I'm not, yo, y'all niggas, yo. Listen, man. Alright. Can I rant real quick, y'all? Can I jump in the building and get on my shit? Can I get a little angry real quick? Is that alright? I think gamers give video game companies, especially their favorite video game companies, a lot of slack. And the effect that happens is that you give them an inch and they take a motherfucking mile, man. You see this all the time with Tekken, and people will be like, somebody will throw some legitimate criticism out, and like, people love this game so much that they're like, yo, you are literally just a scrub. Example, every time a new character comes out, I don't think it's a question anymore that there's a problem as far as balancing comes with new characters. And there are always going to be those people there that argue like, get good, whatever. Maybe that's not the best example, because whatever. But I mean, like, for the longest time, people were saying there wasn't a problem with Akuma. There's no problem with the netcode on Tekken. There's no problem with this, that, and the third. And it's like all these problems are coming to what you call it. Yo, people, it just really seems like, yes, Kojima is a perfect fucking example. Kojima is a genius, and he needs... Hold that thought, because I'm going to lose the Tekken thing if I start talking about Kojima. People are talking about all these issues. I remember I bought Tekken at launch, bro. People were saying there's not enough shit in here, and people were shutting that conversation down immediately. Now, admittedly, at that point, yo, there was a lot of bullshit leading up to when Tekken was released. Like, there was people complaining about some crazy shit. Harada was getting hate for, like, Lucky Chloe. Like, he didn't deserve that. You know, I get it. But, like, sometimes some legitimate complaints are out there, and it's immediately dismissed as people being bitches. That's why you wish that they could soft release in arcades. And, I mean, the arcade thing is dumb. Arcade culture is dead here, but I really wish they would involve us in that shit. I didn't like that when they did it with Tekken 6, and I didn't really like it here either. We see the effect all the time with, like, yo, come on, man. And, you know, it's an unspoken secret that, like, you know, the East gets these games earlier, so there's that aspect. They get better earlier because of that. I don't know. I do see the place in arcades, but I wish personally that they would release some of it on the West early too. You know, and just select the locations. I think there's still some arcades around. But yeah, I feel like people cut a lot of slack for their favorite developers, game series, wherever the case may be. You see it a lot. I'm playing a lot of the Soulsborne games right now, and they create FromSoft creates some wonderful fucking games, right? I don't know what the fuck is going on in any of them though. Okay? And I played this up for jokes, but I'm completely and totally serious. When I tell y'all, I think 90% of the niggas that play them games and say the stories are great, they're so wonderful, this, that, and the third. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying that, but it's told so ambiguously, so out there, that, and there's so many holes and things not explained. I really don't think motherfuckers know what's going on. There's really just theories and whatever, and, you know, people just say that because they like that shit and they like some of the aspects of the story. Like, people were like, I remember for the longest, people were like, yo, Bloodborne is going to fuck with you, bro. Bloodborne is going to make you stay up at night and think about things. And bro, you want me to sum up Bloodborne for you real quick? If you don't want to hear about Bloodborne, turn this shit off for like a minute, maybe 3. Okay? This is the summary of Bloodborne. Ready? Motherfucking aliens did it, bro. Aliens did this shit. Yo, niggas found an alien. They're like, yo, what's up, nigga? Yo, they're like, this is the key to evolving humanity, right? Some niggas were like, no, this is the way, alright? Both of these niggas were wrong. Both of these niggas had half the answer, okay? They both start doing some shit. It creates some wild shit, okay? The niggas that start, like, you know, intermixing with the aliens, using their blood or whatever, they start turning into some weird shit. Some people start the aliens are basically great ones, which if you want to get into fucking I forget the author, but he's the one. It's a type of horror. If you want to get into all that shit, Cthulhu and all that, whatever, man. Basically, the summation of what that horror is it is fear of the unknown, right? So then you get into what the insight is. Insight is basically like the mechanic that if you knew too much in these stories, like as a character, if you learned too much or if you knew too much about like these aliens, these eldritch beings, like your head would basically fucking blow up or you go crazy or whatever. Insight is basically the game representative of that, you know what I'm saying, as well as Frenzy. They work together to sort of kind of represent that. But all Bloodborne is essentially is niggas ran into aliens and niggas did some stupid shit, and then you're coming in afterwards. You're coming in, I don't even, some of this I'm just throwing out there because I don't even understand the dream part of it. Like, that shit's weird. The Hunter's dream and all that. Yeah, Gehrman ends up, that shit, I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't know. But I can tell you, as far as this town, why is everybody fucked up? Aliens. Why is there eyes everywhere? Niggas don't like aliens. Why are some of these niggas turning into monsters? Them niggas did like aliens. And, and the church is bad, nigga. like that's basically, and what I'm getting from Dark Souls, right? Mind you, I've done some lore deep diving, but like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with Dark Souls, nigga. I don't know, dude. But like, that's not to take away from the games, right? But let's get back to my point. I really don't think, because if you go to these people and ask them what these games are about, they're like, son, like they tell you all these basic things, but if you Google it, like if I put Bloodborne into it, like what is Bloodborne about right now, that is like what someone will tell me, and then what I'll find on Google, the first thing is literally the same thing. So motherfucker, did you just give me something that you Googled? You don't even understand it? Is that what you're telling me? And again, Bloodborne was a fun-ass game. I'm not taking nothing from it. I don't know. If you tell me, like, I can tell you exactly why everything happened in Final Fantasy VII. I can't tell you why the fuck I'm even in that town in fucking Bloodborne. I don't know, you think I'm just there. So, I mean, hey. Kojima is another fucking example, man. There, to this day, like, I'm sorry. Here's the problem with Kojima. Kojima is a motherfucking genius, right? Kojima is a really smart dude, and as far as telling stories, he tells some fantastic stories. If anybody in the chat hasn't played Metal Gear Solid 2, brother or sister, I need you to check that shit out and then just take a look, play all the way to the end. It's not a hard game. It's got some interesting shit. It's got some crazy shit in it. It's not a hard game at all. It kind of doesn't hold up to the test of time, because if you were here earlier, I was talking about like how controls sort of kind of changed over time. That is definitely a game that's been affected by that. But if you play that game and then you take a look around, you'll be like, yo, Kojima knew some shit. Like, people that be like, yo, life is a simulation, yo, you play Metal Gear Solid 2, you might really come out thinking that shit, because, like, this game came out in 2000 something, early 2000s, and it's telling you what's going on right now. I swear to fucking God. Anyway, that's what you get when, like, you let Kojima make a game, but you sort of kind of have something to keep him in check. Konami fucked him over, to be honest. I can see that. I am of that belief, but okay, so let me finish what I'm about to say, and then we'll talk about that, because they kind of intermix. I feel like Kojima is so ambitious with his idea. Kojima is kind of like Kanye, but like niggas don't make fun of him like Kanye. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm of the belief that Kanye is a very smart individual, so smart that it might be to his detriment. Because if you start talking about some really in-depth shit that you know about, you really will look crazy to some people. But like, you may have a point, and people will completely and totally miss that. I feel like that happens a lot with Kanye, and I feel like that's the way Kojima thinks. And he fucked his fans over. We'll get into that. So Kojima, again, he's like, if you look at a lot of the shit he put out, like you can kind of see what happens, like the levels at which, the result of what you get if you rein him in a bit, like if you control what he puts out, if you're like, yo, we need to speed this up, yo, you can't take this much time to do this, yo, we're trying to make a game here, whatever. Listen, you know what happens when you don't fucking at least have someone there telling Kojima, like, yo, listen, the fans want this, the fans want that, you know, they're coming here, they expect this, you know, oh, we got a time limit, Kojima, like, we're gonna release at this point, you know, and he's sitting in there, he's drawing pictures, I'm not done yet, motherfucker! Like, he really does need that. You know what you get if you don't get that? You get Death Stranding. And you may hear that and you're like, well, I really like Death Stranding. What was the problem with Death Stranding? The problem with Death Stranding was that listen, this motherfucker, he waited a long time to put out gameplay for a reason. I think a lot of people, when they were at the time leading up to Death Stranding, they were expecting something very similar to, or at least to mimic the gameplay experience of Metal Gear or his previous. I haven't played Death Stranding yet. I've watched gameplay of it, and I'm probably not going to play Death Stranding. They expected that, you know what I'm saying? And what Kojima wanted to do, he wanted to make a game, but he also wanted to tell a story. There's a few things he wanted to do. Like, he wanted to sort of kind of, like, I can see how he wanted to evolve gaming, like his vision. I can see it. He didn't succeed here. Like, I consider Death Stranding a failure. He might look at it different, and sales-wise, people may look at it different. I consider it a failure. Again, like, yeah, Maurice, you were expecting some Metal Gear Solid shit, sneaking around, you know, you just aren't playing a Snake anymore. He ain't put out gameplay for a reason, bro. Like, that shit ain't come out till, like, way close to release for a reason. Dudes were still expecting it to be a MGS-like type deal with a different, you know, a bit of a different flavor for a while. And then, you know, it comes out and it's like, yo, this is a walking simulator, bro. I have a mechanic where if it drops too low, I drop my package and I have to start this shit over. Motherfucker, you what? I don't even think you have to fight anything till like 6 hours in. What Kojima game have you played where there's not some aspect of combat early on? Seriously, I'll wait. Y'all tell me one so that I can, and I'll rescind everything I'm saying right now. I'll wait. Cause like, the thing with Kojima, man, again, it might sound like I don't like the dude. All I'm saying is, he's got some good ideas, he needs to be reined back. What game did he put out? There was some wild shit. It was really fucking sexual. Like, if niggas, like, I'm kinda worried, like, if niggas go back and look at some of his older games, they might be like, yo, we about to Me Too Kojima. Like, we about to look into this nigga. I think it was like Police Knots, where like, you can tell, like, Kojima, he was getting into the deep aspects of his mind with some things, like the way he handles sex and a lot of things. Like, you could tell he has some far out ideas. Again, he may not even necessarily be wrong, but he needs to rein that shit back. Like, people were talking about, yo, PT is a good example of, like, if having Kojima on that, as someone like, yo, I think we should do something like this, that, and the third, that's not a bad idea at all. He is a out-of-the-box thinker, and he'll make some shit happen, and he can create. But again, there's other people, there's other cooks in the kitchen, so you're getting a feedback system, like a checks and balance system. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying with Kojima. And me saying that, right, if I say that to the right person, motherfuckers would be like, yo, come here, Markel. Let me show you a game called Metal Gear Solid. Now I'll be like, I played Metal Gear Solid, I understand. And they're like, okay, let me show you a game called Metal Gear Solid 2. And I'll be like, no, you're not understanding. I'm a fan. And they'll be like, alright. And then the Snake Eater theme will start going on in the background, like the dun dun dun. And that nigga would be like, here, I'm a and they rear up about to tell me about Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm like, dog, trust me, I'm a fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as people defending, like, all this to say, I sat here talking 30 minutes giving y'all examples just to say, people really, really, like, when they like something, they'll defend it to their life. I don't even want to talk about PT. That shit would have been dope if they went through with it. Konami fucked up, bro. The thing with the Silent Hill series, and the thing is, at this point, it's still salvageable. There's still an audience there. I sometimes I wonder what the fuck these companies are looking at, man. Because, you know where niggas fucked up? It became more lucrative to slap the Silent Hill name on other properties, like Dead Rising, like slot machines, like gacha games. We're approaching a time where I'm not even really sure if it's a smart idea to release an IP and then have it be a single release and that's it. Like, I'm not even sure if that's viable anymore, just because, right, people have done it before and people have been successful, but at this point where the market is, you're not going to be as successful as some other niggas. So, is it even viable anymore? I really think we fucked up with, like, microtransactions, gotchas, and all that. Because, like, I really think, like, certain games that you're starting to see convert over there, people should be worried. You're starting to see certain, like, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, all of them, they're dipping into the gotcha market. And people are like, this is great. Now I can play Final Fantasy all the time. Listen, brother. There's a reason you ain't heard shit about Final Fantasy 16 yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm jumping around like crazy. Like, we was talking about Tekken for, what, maybe 30% of this stream. But you know what we can do? I've always wanted to try something like this. Those are okay, so those must be, I can't watch those anymore. Let's see. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about Tekken.
Get ready for the next battle.
Let me see something. I never understood how you lose your replays every patch. Like, can't you just, come on, man. What's up? What's up? I'm here. Yeah, yes, honey? What, you going? Okay. Alright. I'm probably closing up soon. Maybe another 30 minutes tops. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'm so sick of giving companies, like, getting back on that point. I'm so sick of, like, giving companies excuses, though. Because you give them an inch, they take a mile. Let's see. Another example. I was just talking about Square. Final Fantasy VII Remake. the whole debate about whether it should have been in parts or not. And when you bring up this, people will hold up the statement made by Square a while back where they were like, listen, it and the whole time I'm sitting here, right, and I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played the game, right, and I'm like, let's see if I feel any different. And I still feel the same. Like, that shit definitely, you was already taking fucking years and years and years and years and I don't know, man. Maybe I got some boomer sentiments about some things, but I really don't cut these motherfuckers no slack. You hear me? Let's play some Treasure Battle. None, though. None. Absolutely no fucking slack. Fuck them niggas. Shit.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist.
Any of y'all check out The Last of Us 2? Any thoughts on that? Oh boy, I love when I love when I post something and you can tell like somebody says one thing and then somebody says something else and like you can tell like they about to fight about it. I love when that shit happens. I just be letting it. Oh, bitch. No, you know what? Ending was a shit show, but I'm starting to at first I kinda understood what they were going for, but I kinda agree. Yo, this motherfucker really just beat me. This is the computer, fellas! Do I suck? I might suck. Yo! Yo! I just got my ass whooped! Hold on, nigga. Hold on. Yo, hold the phone. These motherfuckers don't play like people. Like, clearly, but like, no, dead ass though. On stream, word. Caught me off guard. I'm mad now, bitch.
Round 2. Fight.
Yo, this motherfucker just tried it.
You win.
Yo, computer got cocky as a motherfucker real quick. Wow, I'm ass.
Round 1.
Shut up, bitch.
Fight.
You don't get a fucking start animation. This nigga said, fuck that, and you're, yo.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
About to rank up today, nigga.
You win. Round 1.
Oh, bitch! Hi! I'ma fuck you up. Oh, you know better. Okay. Alright, my man. Thank you for tuning in.
Round 2.
Have a good nap. And I'll catch you. I'll probably text you later. See what you're doing. Probably turn this off soon too. Wait a minute. Okay, my controller. Duck and punish.
Final round. Fight.
Bitch. Should have been purple. Alright, folks. I think I'm gonna call it a stream here, though. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.